Hey there, fellow gun nuts. If you're anything like me, you've probably lost sleep thinking about the perfect 22 LR load for your next range day or hunting trip. Well, 2025 is serving up 7 brand new rounds that'll have you itching to hit the trigger. These aren't just some recycled plinkers, these are fresh, purpose-built rounds designed to make your rimfire game stronger, quieter, or just plain more fun. Whether you're a suppressor junkie, a lever-action cowboy, or a squirrel-slaying sharpshooter, there's something here that's gonna light your fire. So, pull up a chair, crack a beer, and let's dive into this lineup. Oh, and if you dig what you're reading, smash that like button and subscribe to Survival Gear Showcase. We've got more where this came from. CCI Clean 22 Hypervelocity. Let's start with a round that's basically the Ferrari of 22 LR. The CCI Clean 22 Hypervelocity doesn't mess around, it's fast, clean, and hits like a truck. Picture this, you're out in the back 40, trying to tag a squirrel at 100 yards. With most 22 rounds, you're praying the wind doesn't laugh at you. But this bad boy, a 32-grain polymer-coated bullet blasting out at 1550 feet per second, that's 22 Magnum territory. Folks, without needing a new gun, it's built for long-range shots and small game hunting, flattening trajectories so you're not guessing drop like a weatherman guesses rain. What really sets it apart is that polymer coating. It's not just pretty. It slashes lead fouling by 80%. I've put hundreds of rounds through my Ruger 1022 and the barrel still looks like I just cleaned it. Less scrubbing means more shooting, and I'm all about that life. Plus, it cuts down on splashback when you're banging steel safer and cleaner. The powder's tweaked to keep muzzle flash low, so you're not signaling aliens every shot. Priced at $11.99 for 50 rounds. It's not cheap, but you're paying for premium. Just a heads up that speed can stress older guns. So check your rig before you rip. If you want your 22 to shoot flatter and cleaner, this is your ticket. Aguila's Super Extra Hollow Point. Next up, a round that proves you don't need deep pockets to drop game. Aguila's Super Extra Hollow Point got a 2025 glow-up, and it's punching way above its weight class. This 38-grain copper-plated hollow point uses something called progressive expansion technology. Sounds fancy, but it just means the bullet opens up reliably without turning your rabbit into soup. I've seen it dump energy into gel at 9 to 10 inches of penetration with a nice .36-inch spread. Perfect for squirrels or raccoons when you want meat, not mess. The real win reliability. Aguila's Surefire Primer hits a 99.9% ignition rate. No more clicks when you're expecting bangs. They sealed the case and primer too, so it'll still fire after a wet weekend in your pack. At $6.99 per 50 rounds, it's a steel hell. Grab the 500-round brick and save even more. It's not match grade, and the copper plating's thin, so it might gum up a suppressor after a few hundred shots. But for hunting or casual plinking, it's a no-brainer, affordable, dependable, and hits hard what's not to love. CCI Suppressor Max. Alright, suppressor fans, this one's your jam. The CCI Suppressor Max is the quietest factory 22 LR I've ever shot. Hands down, we're talking a 45-grain polymer-coated lead round nose at 950 feet per second subsonic. Smooth and sneaky. CCI didn't just slap a heavy bullet in there and call it a day. They reworked the primer to cut ignition noise by 15%, and the case has some ninja-level acoustic damping geometry. The result, just 113.2 decibel at the muzzle. That's quieter than a mouse fart, almost half the noise of standard subsonics. The bullet's made from an alloy, hardened lead that lasts longer in your barrel, and coated to keep your can clean. I ran it through my suppressed Mark IV, and it cycled like butter. Accuracy was tight sub MOA at 50 yards, at $12.99 for 50 rounds. It's worth every penny if you're into stealth. No hollow point yet, and it might hiccup in old guns with stiff springs, but for suppressed shooting, it's the king. Think nighttime pest control or backyard plinking without the neighbors calling the cops. Norma Subsonic 22. If you're the type who dreams of punching ragged holes in paper or silently dropping pests without waking the neighbors, The Norma Subsonic 22 is your ticket. This isn't your average plinking round. It's match-grade ammo that just happens to whisper instead of shout. Norma's known for precision in their centerfire lineup, and they've brought that same obsession to 22 LR. With a 42 grain lead, round nose clocking in at 990 feet per second. That's slow enough to stay subsonic, even with a suppressor, but accurate enough to make you look like a pro. What sets it apart? The attention to detail. Norma controls bullet seating depth to within plus or minus 0.002 inches. We're talking tolerances tighter than a tax collector's grip. The bullets are swagged for uniformity, so they fly true. And that slightly heavier 42 grain slug retains energy better than lighter options. I ran a few boxes through my CZ457 with a can, and it was stupidly good sub-MOA groups and velocity spreads under 20 feet per second. It's like the ammo equivalent of a sniper's cold bore shot dead on. Every time. The packaging's slick, too. Each box has a sealed pouch to keep moisture out. And you can even check your lot's QC data online. At $14.99 for 50 rounds. It's the priciest of the bunch. And it's overkill if you're just blasting cans. But for competitive shooters or suppressor fans who demand the best, it's worth every penny. Think of it as the craft beer of 22 LR refined, precise, and a little fancy. Remington Performance Wheel Gun 22 Revolver Shooters. Rejoice! The Remington Performance Wheel Gun 22 is the first 22 LR designed just for your wheel guns, and it's about time someone paid attention to us. Standard 22 rounds can be a letdown in revolvers' short barrels, and cylinder gaps bleed velocity, and weak rims lead to misfires, Remington said. Not on our watch. And cooked up a 40 grain lead round nose pushing 1,050 feet per second from a 4-inch barrel. The secret sauce, a proprietary powder blend that burns fast and clean, even in snubbies, so you get consistent speed and tighter groups. Plus, the rim's 10% thicker for reliable ignition, perfect for older guns with tired springs. I put it through its paces in a Smith & Wesson Model 17 and over 500 rounds. It was flawless, no duds, no hiccups. The brass has a green polymer stripe to prevent bullet setback, and it's coated for slick extraction. It's not just practical, it's got style. Accuracy-wise, it's minute of squirrel at 25 yards and at $8.99 per 50 rounds. It's a steal. The only catch, that beefy rim might snag in some speed loaders, but that's a minor gripe if you've got a 22 revolver begging for action. This is the ammo to breathe new life into it. It's like a trusty sidekick, affordable, dependable, and ready to roll. Federal Hammer Down 22 LR. Lever action fans, this one's for you. The Federal Hammer Down 22 LR is built from the ground up for your Henrys, Marlins, and Winchesters. It's a 40 grain, flat-nose solid copper bullet, hitting 1,260 feet per second from a 20-inch barrel, optimized for tube-fed rifles. Why flat nose? Because pointy bullets in a tube mag can turn recoil into a bad day. Think primer-to-bullet chain reaction. Federal's design keeps it safe while delivering the goods. This round shines in the field. That solid copper bullet expands down to 900 feet per second, so it's lethal on small game even from shorter barrels or longer ranges. I took it hunting with my Henry Golden Boy, and it was lights out for squirrels clean. Ethical kills every time. The nickel-plated cases feed like a dream and shrug off rust, which is clutch if you're tromping through wet woods. Bonus points, the box includes trajectory tables for lever guns with iron sights. How's that for thoughtful at $13.99 for 50 rounds? It's a premium pick, but it's made for hunting, not bulk blasting. If you live for the ka-chunk of a lever action, this is your go-to. It's the ammo equivalent of a well-worn Stetson Tough, practical, and full of character. Remington Standard V22 LR. Finally, we've got the Remington Standard V22 LR, the 22 round that says, I got you, fam. This is the ultimate all-rounder, perfect for everything from plinking to training to small game. It's a 40 grain copper-plated round nose at 1,200 feet per second, built to run in any gun you throw it at pistols, rifles, semi-autos. You name it. What's impressive is the versatility. The new powder blend keeps velocity steady across barrel lengths, so your zero doesn't shift much whether you're shooting a 4-inch Ruger or a 16-inch 1022. The Surefire primer laughs at cold or damp weather, and the nickel-plated cases feed smooth and resist corrosion. I've burned through hundreds of these, and it's Minative soda can at 50 yards. Plenty good for most jobs, at $6.99 for 50 rounds, or cheaper in the 525-round bulk pack. It's a budget champ that doesn't skimp on reliability. It's not the quietest or the fastest, but it's the one you'll reach for when you just need ammo that works. Think of it as the pickup truck of 22 LR, simple, tough, and ready for anything. So, there you go. Gun lovers, these 7 new 22 LR rounds are proof that rimfire isn't just hanging on. It's absolutely thriving in 2025, whether you're chasing tack-driving sub-MOA accuracy, hunting with a clear conscience, or just plinking away at the range. There's never been a sweeter time to be a 22 shooter. These aren't your average upgrades. They're purpose-built game changers, crafted for the way we actually pull the trigger. So, which one's got your name on it? Let us know in the comments. And don't sleep on hitting that like button and subscribing to Survival Gear Showcase for more gear talk that'll keep your trigger finger itching. Stay safe out there and keep those barrels warm.